Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a presentation of our 2019 Mets using the Payoff pitch system. This is game 100. It's the Atlanta Braves versus the New York Mets. We're joining the action in the fourth inning. The score is 4-3 Atlanta. It's been a pretty good game so far. We're back and forth. There's been some power demonstrated. And both starting pitchers are still in there. So we're going to continue from this point on now. Over the last week, we played two 14-inning games. And those have gone way over what we like to spend playing a game. But they were definitely fun games. And we're right about to get started. Let's get the crowd into the game. I don't like this crowd all that much. Let me get this one. This one's a little bit better. There we go. All right, there we go. We're ready to roll. We're at Citi Field, New York, Flushing, Queens, downtown Flushing, Queens. You take the 7 train. They call it the L train. You get off at the Willets Point exit, chased Citi Field. And let's quickly look into what our lineup is today for the Atlanta Braves. It's going to be Cunha leading off, followed by Albies, the second baseman. The first baseman is in the third hole, Freddie Freeman. The cleanup hitter is Josh Donaldson, the third baseman. Left fielder Adam Duvall in left field, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Adeiny Chava, the other shortstop. Batting eighth is Charlie Culberson in right field. And I think he gets hit in the face September 1st. This is still the end of August. Tyler Flowers, the catcher, batting eighth, and batting ninth is Dallas Keuchel. Both teams are showing us their lefties, their southpaws. So it's easy to remember to look on the left side of the batter card when you're playing this. Now, some people's critique of the game is that the pitchers don't have lefty versus righty. So if you're a pitcher who's really, really outstanding versus a lefty, this is really not going to show it. So a lot of people say, well, you have so much space here. Look at all that space on this card. Why not just push it over, make it a little bit smaller, and use the color coding and just make it versus lefties and versus righties? And I'm starting to look at that, and I'm starting to realize, wow, that would be pretty easy to do. All right, you just have set up two separate algorithms, I guess. One for the versus righties and one for the versus lefties. So I guess versus lefties would be on this side, versus righties would be on that side, I imagine, something like that, just like the batter card is. So versus righty batter, I would look on this side, and then I would look versus lefty pitcher. But again, that would make that to me, actually, I don't really like that all that much, because Stratomatic does that, and I feel like my brain and my eyeballs are whipping around everywhere. This is very a very straightforward system, right? You're very easy to use. So anyway, sometimes when you mess with things and you ruin them. So that has to be analyzed, and I think there should be a prototype made, and we should play test it in the community to see if that would work. If you could have the pitchers have two pitching to their ability to pitch to lefties and to righties. But look at this column. Look how large it is. I mean, you got a pretty much empty card there. You got one term in the center, but look all the space you have to the right and to the left. So if you moved all that over and you added that would be versus, let's say, lefties or versus righties, and the other side would be versus lefties or righties. So you would have righty lefty represented on the pitcher card, because let's say Steven Matz has pitched a 0.81 batting average against righties like Adam Duvall. Well, that's not going to be represented here. Okay, that's not going to be represented here. It's how Adam Duvall hits against lefties. So Adam Duvall actually has the advantage in this case, because if Adam Duvall is a really great hitter against lefty pitchers, but Steven Matz is an amazing pitcher against lefty batters, they could cancel each other out, right? Because it would come off this first, and this the pitcher card would take us to maybe perhaps the area where it's least likely for him to get a hit, because he's masterful at facing righties. where you don't have that represented here. Now, I'm not a nitpicker. I really enjoy this game. I really like it, but I think it's something that's rather doable just because of looking at the card construction. You could do that. So anyway, let's get started. I went over the lineups. It's the top of the fourth. It's 4-3 Braves. The Mets' record is 66 and 63. They're in second place in the NL East. Their manager is Mickey Callaway. Brian Snitker's the manager for the Braves. They're 65 and 66. Here goes. That's going to be a 7-off match. That's a ballpark. A 69 is going to take us to in play, and in play 95 is a fly ball lifted to left. 1 out. Adeiny Echevarria here in the top of the fourth. That's a 10, a tough 65. And that's fly ball, center field, can of corn for Lagares. Charlie Culberson, a niner. A niner is in play 69. And that's chopped to second. McNeil charges over to first, and that retires the side. Rene Rivera starting for the Mets today at catcher. Dallas Keuchel, here's the pitch. 11, that's Patient. Patient 77 is going to be an out because Rivera has no hits versus lefties, so that automatically is an out. It's a fly ball to center. 1 up and 1 down. Pitcher hitting card number 12 for. That's going to be a 7, tough 98. And that's a fly ball left field hooking towards the line. Duvall in foul territory makes the catch. Ahmed Rosario with 2 outs. The pitch is a 5. That's in play, and 99 is popped up. Third baseman Josh Donaldson. That's a modifier to get some extra pop-ups and line-outs into the game. It's a very simple modifier. It's just the last number in the row and the last row. The last number in the last row is a pop-up or a line drive. The ground-outs are line drives, and the fly balls are pop-ups. In the story, that works. All right, so it's the top of the 5th inning. Tyler Flowers. He's known for his bat. That's in play 78. Ground ball shortstop. Rosario scoops it, now fires. 1 down. Pitcher is a 5 batting card. That's an 11. Patient 24, and that is a little ground ball and through the right side for a base hit. So Keuchel is on with a single, with a 1-out single. Dallas Keuchel helping his own cause. Ronnie Acuna Jr. Let's take a look at the box score. Ronnie Acuna Jr. is 0 for 1. He's walked and struck out, batting .276. Here's the pitch from Steven Matz with 1 out and 1 on. That's a 5. That's a tough 49, and that's going to be a strikeout. Freddie Freeman's up. Here's the pitch. Freddie's got a home run, and this takes him to ballpark. And a 26 is going to take us to a 1-45, and that's a deep drive. Freddie gets a hold of one. Oh, wait. I got Albies up. Albies. 2 outs and Albies. I messed up. Okay. So Albies is up, and that is a 7 ballpark. 26, and it's 1-70 versus a lefty. Ozzie Albies. That's a deep drive. Back goes J.D. Davis to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. 2-run home run, and that makes it 6-3, and Steven Matz is upset with himself. That is, I believe, the 3rd home run allowed by Steven Matz. I mean, he's got a ballpark at 7. 7 is a number that comes up a lot. Culberson hit his 6th of the year. Freddie Freeman hit his 44th, and Ozzie Albies hit his 17th. We're only at 100 games, and Freddie Freeman already has 44 home runs. That's pretty good. A little bit ahead of his total. And you got Freddie Freeman coming up right now. So he's got 44 home runs in this season. Granted, some of the season was played by replay baseball. I have to admit that. So it's not all payoff pitch. So Freddie Freeman is up. There's action in the Mets bullpen. 6-3 now. And let's go. Freddie Freeman. Here goes. 6. Tough. Tough 0-1, and that's a strikeout. That retires the side, but the Braves increase their lead, and they make it 6-3. Go to the bottom of the inning with Jeff. He can go 6, and he can go 5, so he's actually tired already. He was tired in that inning. So I had to use a fatigue card, and that's something you got to really look out for. So he's going to get pulled anyway, and Braves are winning. So Dallas Keuchel doesn't get to fatigue till the next inning. So here goes. That's a 7. That's a tough 0-0. We're going to make that into a defense. It's a rare play chart, but there's a lot of injuries on that chart. So it's going to be an 87. That's going to be above and beyond any. So that's going to be a line out to the first baseman, L3, on that out. Nice play by Freddie Freeman, flashing the leather. Pete Alonso next with a 3. That's a patient 34, and that's a base on balls. Michael Conforto has a home run, 6. Tough 22. That's a K, 2 out. Conforto back to the bench. J.D. Davis on a 10, in play 5. And that's grounded to short. Echevarria flips to Albies, and that retires the side. Got a new pitcher for the Mets. If I can find the Mets. Let me see what I did with the Mets. I got baseball cards here, and I got everything mixed all together. Baseball cards, APA cards, deep drive cards, and I love it. I love it this way. This is like the mad professor's laboratory of insanity. Let's see if I found the Mets. Okay. I actually organized them a little bit into pitcher. I have pitcher. Let's see who we have available to come in. Paul Sewell's coming in. Let's see. He's going to be facing Josh Donaldson. And let's see, when is the pitcher due up for the Mets? We may have to pull a double switch. Now, oh, yeah, he's going to be due up. Huh. He's going to be due up. 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning, and 9th inning. So we'll have to use 4 more pitchers. Okay, I think we have 4 more pitchers. Let me double check. Let me just make sure we have 4 more pitchers. We should have 4 more pitchers. I don't want to pull a double switch so early on, even though Keuchel is on his way out. Okay, Josh Donaldson. Here goes. At nighttime, I use the fast action cards. It's really quiet. That's a patient. No, an 11, I'm looking at the wrong card, is defense. Defense 62. That could be some sort of a error on the pitcher. So Paul Sewell is a 3. We pulled a 62. A 3 error rating is 1/52. So that's a ball that Paul O'Neill stabs at over to first, went away. So he retires Josh Donaldson. That's a 12 wheelhouse. And a wheelhouse 60 versus a righty is a deep drive off Duvall's card into left center field. Back goes Davis and Lagares. They look up, and that's gone. Adam Duvall connects 1/73. Holy smokes on the home runs. He had 10 home runs in 100 at-bats. Wow. Nuts. All right, 7-3 now. Adeiny Echevarria. 8, that's a tough 34. That's a strikeout. 2 out. Charlie Culberson, right-handed hitter. Pitch from Seawall, a 9. That's Patient. Patient 31, and that is line down the line into left field corner. J.D. Davis is going to roll to the wall. He plays it off the wall around first. Headed for second is Culberson. Here's the throw, and not in time. Charlie with a 2-out double. Tyler Flowers. We're going to walk Tyler. Oh, they're right about to pull. They're going to pull. You know what? They may leave him in there, actually. I'm going to walk Flowers, and they're going to let Keuchel bat here because they want Keuchel to go at least a little bit longer. 6, ballpark. A ballpark 52. That's going to take against a, let's see, Dallas Keuchel's a lefty. A lefty's a 53, so that's going to be in wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 5, and a 19 is going to be line base hit. And this is going to score Culberson. I'm pretty sure Charlie's at least a 6 base running. He is, so he's going to score. Flowers. What do I do with Flowers? Oh, because that should be Flowers there. Hold on a second. Oh, Tyler Flowers. Okay, Tyler Flowers is a 6, and Culberson is a 6. So both are going to move up on the single on the extra base. First and third now against Seawald, and it's the top of the order, Acuna. So that backfired. Keuchel actually gets his 2nd hit of the game. So that's pretty funny. Keuchel has 2 hits. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Ronnie Acuna Jr. Here's a pitch. That's a 6. That's ballpark. Oh, boy. Ballpark 71 is in play. In play 66, and that's going to be ground ball to second base. McNeil over to first, and that retires the side. But the Mets give up 2 more runs, and it's 8-3 Atlanta now. Todd, the Todd father, up against Keuchel, gets a fatigue card. Keuchel had a 3.75 ERA. Let me see. So less than 4 and above 6 or more. Right there. That's his fatigue card. So he's pitching with a fatigue card. We're pulling a card right here, an 8. That's Patient. A Patient 16. And that is a ball 4. So trying down to first is the Todd father. Juan Lagares. 6 is a tough 95 against the lefty. It's going to be a fly ball left field. Backing up is Duvall. He's there. Makes the catch. Rene Rivera is next. 6, again, a tough 92. And that's a fly. Backing up is Donaldson. Duvall racing in and near the foul line, and that's Duvall. Makes the catch. It was for a second there. It was, I got it, you got it. Hey there, Philip Reynolds. Long time no see, brother. You're avoiding me. I'm not feeling the love from the world of Philip Reynolds. All right, Seawald. Keuchel is still up there with a fatigue card, trying to get through the 6th. So Mets are going to have to bring in a pinch hitter here. They're bringing Rajah Davis, pinch hit. Here's a pitch from Raj, 9. 9 is a tough. Again, a tough. Wow, this fatigue card is better than his regular card. A tough 18 against a lefty. That's strike 3, and that retires the side. So Keuchel, probably his last inning. We're going to get a new pitcher for the Mets. It's going to be Chris Mazza. So Chris Mazza's coming in. Let me grab his card. The great thing about Payoff Pitch, it comes with all the cards. That's the nice thing about it. I love, and I have the actual printed cards, but I also have the PDF. And I print out the PDFs because I don't want to sort. At least the PDF is sorted for me pretty much. I mean, not totally, but it's pretty much sorted. Chris Mazza. Let's see if we can track him down. Hopefully he's available to us. And I don't see him. So I may not have printed out Chris Mazza. That's annoying. May have to track him down. Hector Santiago, Ramey. I'll just bring somebody else in. It's an 8-3 game. I'm not going to hold the game up that long just because I want to bring in somebody who's not available. That's counterproductive to my brain, for my brain. I don't seem to have Mazza anywhere. And let me look in the other set just in case he got stuck in the with the batters. That's always a possibility. Sometimes that'll happen. You'll get 3 or 4 batters, and then there'll be a one pitcher between them. Because there's some pages that are fringe pages. There he is. There's Chris Mazza, so he's coming in. Got Jason Vargas in that stack as well. So there's 2 sets of pages: the actual players that play 90% of the time, and then there's pages for the few players that play 10% of the time, or 15% of the time. So, but I really love having all the cards. 99 are in rare events. I had 4 99s in 5 rounds. Ah, Glory Days Boxing. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Good for you, Philip. You should check Philip Station's channel. It's Philip Reynolds. He really enjoys boxing and golf. He's a Renaissance man, whereas as I'm a tunnel vision guy, just baseball. That's all I care about. He enjoys all types of different sports. I respect that. All right, Ozzy Albies against Chris Mazza. Nobody on, nobody out. The Braves are up 8-3 in the top of the 7th. This has been a fun ball game. I'm not going to say it hasn't. And it's also time to do the shuffle. I don't, late at night or early in the morning, I'm not rolling the dice simply because it's too loud. Look at this. I mean, this can go through. I got paper-thin walls, and even though I'm on the other side of the house, that's really loud. But you know what? This dice tower doesn't allow my dice to go flying. That's why I use it. It's noisy, and I'd like to cover it up. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to go someday when I can go back out into the street. I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and find some felt or something and try to cover it up, so it'll be much quieter. Actually, it would be pretty easy to cover this part. In a little while after this game, I'm going to look around my house, see if I can find some sort of material, some sort of plastic or foam or something to lay down right here, because then it'll be, because I think most of the noise comes from here, here, but then there's also noise when it hits down here. So that would minimize the noise by, let's say, 50%. I'm also using the dice roller called rolls.com, R-O-L-Z. And that'll roll the dice for you as well. You just hit enter and it rolls. So I'm using that as well. I'm using multiple systems just to keep things exciting and different. I don't want to fall into these ruts where, the same old. I like to bring in different dice towers, different apps, different approaches, try out different, home brews that are not gonna really devastate the game. Now, I was thinking, tell me if this is nuts or not. Tell me if you think this is crazy. But I was thinking of replaying the Derek Jeter game when he gets his 3,000 hit and he hits a home run. I was thinking of his first at bat when he hits that home run, making an automatic home run. So when he comes up, he gets an automatic home run, and then from then on, he goes to his regular card. He goes on to get, I think, 5 hits that day. But I thought that would be pretty cool. Okay, here goes. Ozzy Albies, 10 in play, 0-5. And that's going to be driven over the center fielder's head, and Lagares chases after it. The ball bounces right back to him. Albies into second base with a leadoff double, just like that. The Braves continue their offensive barrage against the Amazons. Freddie Freeman, a 9 in play. In play 78. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. 1 out, 1 on. Adam Duvall. It's an 8. It's a tough 86. Strike 3. He's either home run 1-90, home run 1-73, or strikeout 1-90. Oh wait, I just let me go back one. So when Albies came up, that was the leadoff batter. Let me see. double, fly out, and strikeout. And now I got Duvall. I don't know what I did. Oh, you know what? Where's Donaldson? Oh, I did Donaldson. Okay. So it was a strikeout. That should be Josh Donaldson with the 1-90, and that would be a ground ball to short. And now I have Duvall up. So that's let me go back. It's a ground ball to short. I don't know what happened there. 6-3, and runner's going to hold. And now it's Duvall. Here's a pitch to Duvall from Mazza, 11 in play. In play 71, and that is a fly to center. Lagares in the gap and tracks it down, and that retires the side. All right, it's Ahmed Rosario leading us off. Now, I can replace Keuchel. He's gone 6 innings already, so I will replace him. We were using a fatigue pitcher card, and he did great with that fatigue pitcher card, probably better than he did with his regular card. It's going to be Josh Tomlin coming in. Josh Tomlin. I did not, let's see. Mark Melanson, I got 2 of them. Did I not throw out the other one? Hold on a second. I just saw Mark Melanson there. Or maybe not. No, I did not. Okay. And who am I looking for? Tomlin. Got a lot of pitchers here. Holy smokes. Kevin Gosman, Darren O'Day, Mike Soroka. I for some reason, I know all these names. Josh Tomlin, there he is, comes in. All right, not doing that. Ahmed Rosario leading us off with a 9. That's a tough 27 against a righty. That's a K. 1 up, 1 down. Jeff McNeil, a flying squirrel. That's a tough 58. And a tough 58 is going to be fly ball left field. Duvall, right there. Hit it on the screws, but right at the left fielder Duvall, who caught it just high. It's a 9, a tough 40. That's a strikeout. Alonso downswing, that retires the side. If the Mets lose this one, that'll be 3 in a row, I believe. Did I lose 3 in a row? I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I know this will be the 2nd game in a row that I lose. Adenia Chavarria versus Chris Mazza. 8, tough. Tough 17, that's a strikeout. Chavarria downswing. Charlie Culberson is next with a 5. 5 is a tough. Tough 9. Oh, Jesus. Tough 19. It's a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Mazza. And Tyler Flowers. It's a 9 in play. And play 14, that's going to be a little ground ball and through the left side for a base hit. J.D. Davis plays it in. Rosario flips it back to the pitcher. And now it's going to be the pitcher spot. Tomlin, 8-3. We're going to let Tomlin bat. Tomlin is a 1 pitcher hitting card. And I think I just heard some thunder outside. So I'm going to go bring my bicycle in. I have my bicycle that's sitting on the side of the house there. So in a second after this game. I don't think anything's going to happen just yet. All right, Tomlin. Right there. He's going to bat with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Tomlin, a 10. That's in play. In play 36. That's not going to be a wild pitch. In play 36, and that is grounded to the first baseman. Alonso's going to flip to Mazza covering, and that retires the side. Just like that. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. I got some Heritage cards. I bought a Heritage set. And this is Heritage. This is a reproduction of the 1970 baseball season where the batters, the last year the batters were posing. And there's a lot of cool poses here. I love this. Let's see if there's any players that are playing today. Markakis, no. Kevin Gosman, no. I don't get all the players. There's only 200 cards. So these are the Braves I found in 200 cards. Freddie Freeman is playing. And it's got a little information on him. Freddie Freeman hit his first postseason home run in 18. Adam Duvall is playing today. What's to say about him? Adams, 8 of arm runs saved. What does that mean? In 17, we're 2nd in MLB. Adam Lynn Duvall. Oh, arm run saved. Oh, I get it. He's got a strong arm. The Braves sent 3 respected prospects to Cincinnati on July 30th, 2018 to acquire Adams Power, upper-tier left field glove, and rocket arm. So he's an outstanding fielder. Not sure if he's still with the Braves. Who knows? There will probably be no baseball in 2020, which is really, really sad because all those players lose a year of their career. I mean, it's a year you can't get back. I mean, you can't be 31 again. Now, next year you'll be 32. And if you were struggling at 31, well, you're really going to struggle at 32. And if you're on the last year of your contract, guess what? You're not going to see your favorite player on that team anymore, most likely, unless they re-sign. So everything's turned upside down. I'm going into retro. 2019 is going to be my 2019 and my 2020 season. All right, where are we? Michael Conforto against Josh Tomlin. 7, tough. Tough 61. That's line, base hit, right field. Over the outstretched glove of the leaping Freddie Freeman. So Michael Conforto with a hit. J.D. Davis up next against Tomlin, 10. 10 is in play, 34. 31, 30, 30, 31. And it tells you right here, wild pitch gives you a question mark. You should have a question mark right next to the number, but that's okay. So that is going to be a 34. What did I say was? I forgot. 10, which is in play, 34 versus a righty, and that is popped up right side. And Freeman settles under it for out number 1. The Todd father's up. Todd Frazier. Here's a pitch of 6 in play 22. And in play 22 is going to be popped up. Middle of the infield, Albies. Back-to-back pop-ups. And now it's Juan Lagares. A lot of action on the Facebook page if you haven't run into it. On the Payoff Pitch Gamers Network page, a lot of guys sharing what they're doing. So I'm excited that that's kicking in. That's turbocharging. We're the ones who can turbocharge a site. If we want to start inputting content and sharing content that makes the site interesting. If it's just, if it's always nothing's going on there, but it's good to have everybody sharing in. And 99% of gamers are really great guys. They're honest, decent guys. A little bit conservative, but they're good-natured and they're honorable guys. And that's what I really like about this hobby. I don't know that we're all perfect. I think we got our strengths and weaknesses, but Juan Lagares with 2 outs, runner on first against Josh Tomlin. Here's a pitch. That's a 4 in play. In play 94, and that's going to be a fly ball. Shallow left, Duvall racing in and gets there, and that retires the side. Top of the 9th. Chris Mazza's still in there against Acuna Jr. in 11. In play, what is that? Back-to-back, 11 and 11. That's interesting. So an 11 is in play, and in play 11 is going to be a little bloop that drops in left center field off the bat of Acuna. And I think that's his 3rd hit of the day, I believe. Is that his 3rd or 4th hit? Oh, no, that's his 1st hit. Why did I think he had so many hits? That's weird. It's the home runs that have been killing the Mets. Duvall hit his 10th of the year. Ozzie Albies. Mets got somebody else going in the bullpen now. Here's a pitch. 5. That's tough. Tough 18, strikeout. Albies down swinging. Freddie Freeman now. On a 10 is in play 35. And in play 35 is Greg Humbacker. This may be a double play. We got a 9 there. It won't be. A 9 will not be here. It's a 1-6. Rosario with the throw to first, not in time. Freddie beats it out. Rosario had trouble getting out of his glove, so gave Freddie Freeman, who doesn't run particularly well, a chance to make it to first. 2 outs. Wait. It's got to be 6-4. I did the wrong thing. There you go. All right, that brings up Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson today, top of the 9th, it's 8-3 Mets. Josh Donaldson is 0 for 4. Today struck out once. 8 off Maz is a tough 74. And that's a fly ball, center field. Out number 3. Go to bottom of the 9th. We're going to see new pitcher for the Braves. And we're going to see who's coming up for the Mets. It's the bottom of the order. It really doesn't matter who comes in. Let's see. Mark Melanson. We'll bring in Melanson. Nah. You know what? We're going to bring a lefty Sean to come. Or should we should let Josh Tomlin go one more inning. I don't think he can. I don't know. It says 3 short. Oh, I guess this is his starting. His starting would be there. 3 and then short. All right, so we'll let him go another inning. Rene Rivera. Let's see what happens. It's 8-3. There's nothing happening here in this game. 4 in play. In play 59, and that is in play 59 is ground ball second base. Albies. 1 down. Pinch hitter's time. Pinch hitter for the Mets, and they are going to bring in Luis Guillorme, get him in a bat. I like Luis Guillorme. He's a good fill-in role player type infielder. Not great at hitting, not a lot of power, not very fast, but he's steady. He's got the right attitude. He hustles. He has pretty sure hands. So there's a place for him on teams. Place for him. Okay. Luis Guillorme's up. Here's the pitch to Guillorme from Josh Tomlin. That's a 6 in play, 0-1. That's going to be line base hit. Not only that, Guillorme's going to try for 2. It looks like Culberson took his time getting to the ball. Acuna picks it up now. Throw to second base. And he's in there with a double. He stretches a single into a double. Looked like Culberson. I don't know what happened, but wasn't very quick getting to that ball, so they may have to have a talk with him. You're going to probably see Brian Snitker having a talk with Charlie Culberson, who's not really known for, slacking off. But maybe he had trouble seeing the ball. I don't know. Maybe thought Acuna was going to get to it. Who knows? But anyway, it's the top of the order for the Mets now. There's 2 outs, so there's 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. It's 8-3. Here's the pitch from Josh Tomlin. That's a 7. 7 is a tough 86. That's chopped to short. This may be a double play of 4. And a 4 will be a chop 86. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, ball game over. Echeverria, Albies, Freeman, and the Mets lose it by a score of 8-3. This was a quick game. Hallelujah. I'm not giving the opportunity. Why doesn't it let me make a because there's a runner on second base. There's no double play. No wonder. That's why I'm glad. I would have written double play if I was using a scorecard. So now I use the scorecard and I use the computer PC game because I would have made a mistake. You see, for some reason in my brain, Guillorme was at first base. But it was a double. It was a single. He stretched it into a double. So that's going to be a 6-3, and runner's going to hold on that. Two outs, and it's the flying squirrel, Jeff McNeil. Outstanding hitting infielder, outfielder. Let's see what he's doing in this season. McNeil's batting .311. He's 1 for 4 in this game. Here's a pitch from Josh Tomlin. It's a 6. 6 is in play. In play 0-3. And that's driven in the gap. That's going to roll to the wall. Scoring is Guillorme. In with a 2-out double is the flying squirrel, Jeff McNeil, just like that. Mets score a run, and it's 8-4. Pete Alonso's next. Here's the pitch from Tomlin, 7. 7 is a tough, 37 tough. That's strike 3. That's ball game. Game over. The game is over. The Mets lose. The Mets lose. What was the last out? It was a strikeout. So unfortunately, I lost another one with the Mets, and I think that's 3 in a row. Dallas Keuchel 2-7 improves the record to 2-7. Steven Matz falls to 8 and 9. Josh Tomlin picks up a save. I really don't know how he picks up a save on that, but Charlie Culberson is the MVP. Let's see what Culberson did. Culberson went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, hit his 6th home run of the year and a double, his 5th, off of Paul Sewald. The home run came in the 2nd inning off Steven Matz. The line score was Atlanta 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Mets 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. So that's it for that game. Mets had 3 players with 2 hits: McNeil, Conforto, and Frazier. And we're pulling out of this, and I think we're bringing a new team to town. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe the Cubs. I already printed them out. I may have one more game with Atlanta. I'm not sure. We'll find out right now. Okay. And it's going to be, the Cubs are coming in town. It's going to be Yu Darvish versus Marcus Stroman. That's fun. I already have the Cubs all cut up over here on my right. So I'm actually creating a new 2019. I already have one that's carded. Then I started another one, but the cards were really large. So, and I couldn't figure out how to make those cards large again. So then I just started a brand new, fresh. I have this thing that's called Instaprint, and it lets me print out anything I want, as many as I want, for like $10 a month. I don't worry about it. Just another expense for my hobby, which I love. It's worth it. I'm not drinking. I'm not throwing money away on expensive vacations. I got no expenses. So be nice to me, people. Be nice to me, because I got money to spend in our hobby. So don't abuse me. Don't mistreat me. I think I'm pretty fair. I usually don't. I'm buying from everybody. So even though I have my opinions, and I think I have a right to my opinions, and I think people need to respect each other's opinions a little bit more. And no matter what site you're on, and this is like a little mini rant before I shut down. I don't care what site you're on. If it's a site with the name of Deep Drive, I think you ought to be able to say, hey, I wish Deep Drive did this way. And I'll be like, yeah, that's, if you want that, you have to play another game. That's usually how I answer that situation. I wish Deep Drive did certain things in certain ways, I guess. I don't worry about that sort of thing that much unless it really sticks in my side. And then I'll usually contact the designer and I'll have a talk with him, have him try to explain it to me. Okay, I feel that people's perception of me is not really who I am at all. I don't wish them harm, and I don't wish any of the companies harm. I can be a little bit rough around the edges sometimes, and how I write things, and it sometimes I want to point out people's silliness, and they take it, they're offended by it. People are sometimes silly because they're not willing to be objective with their game, saying, I really like this about my game, but I really hate this about my game. See, I'm willing to do that, okay? Now, I'll tell you one thing. I hate the PDFs because I have to search all over the place for the team. In other words, most of the cards are in one section, right? On one file. But then you got to scroll through that file to find other extra players that are in 3 different places. And then there's a second file with fringe players that are in multiple places. So now I got to look in 6 places or 5 places or 4 places, whatever, for all the players. And sometimes I got one player on one sheet with players from like 2 other different teams or 3 other different teams. So that means I'm going to have to save up all those extra players on the side, which I'm not going to remember that I have, which I'm not going to want to go to. So it wastes ink. Get all the players that played on a team and put them on in one section with 6 or 7 pages. So if I really want all the players for that team, I can print out all the 6 or 7 pages. I don't have to go all over the place. That's how I feel. I don't know how you feel, but I really don't care. I mean, I respect how you feel, but I'm sharing how I feel, right? So anyway, it's going to be, who did I say it was going to be? It was going to be Yu Darvish. So let's see if we can find. First thing I'm going to do here with the teams, I'm going to separate the pitchers from the batters. That's, I think, is essential. You got to do that. You got to separate the batters and the pitchers because otherwise it's chaos. All right, so I'm sending all the hitters cards, whether they're pitcher hitter cards or not, they're going into one pile, and then all my pitchers are going to go into the other pile. So I'm going to play Chicago, which actually I'm a huge fan of Joe Madden. He's probably my favorite manager in baseball. Joe Madden, I love Joe Madden. And so I love playing his teams, and I like his style of coaching. I love the way he really embraces players, especially players who are versatile. That's one thing that I picked up with the Tampa Bay Rays when he started. He had a lot of young players that could play every position. That's the type of player that he wanted because that allowed him to strategize. Right? Thing I do love about the payoff pitch is that it gives you every single card. So I have Brad Brock with the Cubs, and I have Brad Brock with the Mets. I love that. That's very cool. That's why I continue to buy everything that Joe produces. I don't always see eye to eye with him. Okay? I don't know if we always get along, but he's got a good product, and I respect some of the things that he does. Well, I respect everything that he does. I mean, he has a great system. And that's going to be it. So we're going to set up the lineups now, and I'll keep on. It's Hayward, Castellanos, and Bryant. Javier is in there. Castellanos, Contreras. It's not playing. Bote is not playing. Descalso not playing. Chris Bryant, he's there. It's a fun team to play. This is basically a 2016 team. Jason Hayward's leading off. Kyle Schwarber's batting fifth, left-handed hitting left fielder. Nico Horner not playing. Ben Zobrist not playing. Tony Kemp not playing. I got Ian Happ and Caratini and Rizzo. Those are the last three guys I need. Is Rizzo playing? Rizzo's not playing. Happ is at first base. Switch hitting power hitter. Had 11 home runs in 140 at bats. Holy smokes. 1-86 versus righties. And Stroman better not pitch a wheelhouse to Ian Happ, otherwise he's cooked. Michael Lorenzen, you see, he snuck in here. Scooter Janae, they're all from Cincinnati. So I got to put them in this other pile. Carlos Gonzalez, Lucroy, Mark Zunigas, or Zaganus, Robel Garcia, Albert Almora Jr., and Victor Caratini. All right. Oh. What I do with my starters? Wait a second. The heck did I just do here? All right, Javier. These are all my bench guys. Contreras is starting. Caratini is a catcher. Lucroy not starting. Carlos Gonzalez. I think I got everybody here. Let's double check. Let's see. Kyle Schwarber's fifth. Hayward is first. Russell is last. Bryant and Castellanos back to back. Then it's Javier. I'm missing Hayward. What did I do with Hayward? There he is. He's leading off. All right. So I got Hayward, Castellanos, Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, Kyle Schwarber. I should have Ian Happ. Kyle Schwarber. No, Kyle Schwarber, Ian Happ. Victor Caratini, Addison Russell in the pitcher. Where is he? Yu Darvish. There he is. He's a three-pitcher hitting card. Three-pitcher hitting card. There we go. And they're going to be at the top. For the Mets, it's going to be Marcus Stroman. For the Mets, it's going to be Marcus Stroman. Let's see. Marcus Stroman is not much of a hitter. Came over from the American League. He played years and years with, I think it was the Toronto Blue Jays. Am I right? So we're going to bring in Marcus Stroman, take a look at his card. Mets have 5 pretty good starters. They got Matz, Thor. So this is a fun team to play. You're in almost every game. They got good offense. They have now their pitching, their bullpen is questionable for sure. Marcus Stroman is a 1, just like I predicted. He's a 1 pitcher hitting card. Mets have some really good pitchers, but Marcus Stroman is not one of them. Let's see what the lineup is for the Mets. It's Rosario, McNeil, Alonso, Conforto. Ramos is back in. It's going to be Ramos, Davis, Panic. So Ramos, Davis, Panic. Panic is in there. Ramos is in there. And that's it. I got everybody. That's pretty quick. See that? That doesn't take very long to set this up. So we got Rosario, McNeil, Alonso, Conforto, Ramos, Davis, Panic, the Todd Father, and then Marcus Stroman. Mets are at home in Citi Field. Come down, take the L train, and watch the game. Citi Field. It's a little bit better for lefties than to righties, but it's about 1 to 50, 1 to 53 for lefties in terms of wheelhouse. So if you roll that, you're going to get into the wheelhouse of the batter. That means he's got some power. So I'm going to pull out the Braves cards, Braves Heritage cards, and put those away. So I had a blast with that last game, even though the Mets lost. The Mets are in a little bit of a slump, and it tells me. Let me see. It should tell me. Usually it says. Yeah, it does. Mets have lost 7 in a row. Holy smokes! I had a feeling they lost a bunch of games in a row. They were in a bunch of games, but they lost them by 1 run. So I'm going to actually do a score sheet with the next game, where I can take a picture of it. So I'm printing out score sheet on cardstock. Darn it, it doesn't matter. All right, I got a lot of cardstock. So it's Yu Darvish against Marcus Stroman. It's going to be a heck of a ball game. Stroman can only go 5, and then he becomes fatigued if he allows 3 or more runs. And for Darvish, it's 6. So almost all the pitchers are the same way. So what can I tell you? I would like to see batters faced right next to fatigue, so you can use either the inning or you can use the batters faced. I would like to see that, and that's so easy to do, and there's so much space to put that in there. And I don't think that's something that almost a lot of games use. So it's not something that guys are not going to want or not going to, are not going to value. So those are the changes that if, Joe, you listen to my broadcasts, I think you get a lot out of them because I think a lot of my observations are fairly relevant to the gamer community, since I am a big part of that community and have a lot of interactions. Some people have questioned the fatigue. It's a little bit abstracted, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Like, I could create the batter's face myself. But if you want to add stuff, like you added August 3rd to September 27th, I don't know. If you don't see that on Baseball Reference, if you're not looking at Baseball Reference and getting an idea of when Marcus Stroman, if you care about that, then if you care about that level of detail, that you don't want to start Marcus Stroman with the whole season on the Mets, you want to bring him in on the exact date, well, then you're probably using Baseball Reference and you can see when he started. That may be helpful to some people, but I really don't think anybody who's interested in that level of detail is going to look it up. They're going to look up and see not these dates, because first of all, the game engines, if you use Strat or if you use Replay, it gives you that already. He's not on the roster until August 3rd. So for all those guys, they're out. Batters faced is something that I think you have to go calculate if you want it, by the way. It's easy to calculate, but I got to go calculate. And I could write on this. Hey, it's a PDF. right? But I don't want to do that for like, what, 600 pitchers. That doesn't make sense. So batters faced, if you added that right next to the fatigue 5, so he becomes fatigued after 5 if he's allowed 3 or more runs, and you use a fatigue pitcher card, right? I don't know if you guys disagree or agree or disagree, but let me know if you do or if you don't, and bring it up when I post this video, and you go through it, and I listen to it when I'm in my car. I know a lot of guys aren't in their car, maybe listen at home. I know Al, Red Sox fan, listens as he's having his breakfast, but yeah, if you added batters faced, I think that would make a lot of guys happy, because then they could use either the batters faced, or they could use your pretty simple, straightforward fatigue system. So there's a lot of little things without messing up the game that you can add to these cards. You want to be cautious about filling it up. Like, look, March 28th to September 25th. This basically tells me that Jason Hayward played the whole season. So what's the point in that? I don't understand what the point in telling the guy I can see has 500 at bats, probably 100, and how many? What does he have? Oh, and 60. He has 600 plate appearances. So of course he played the whole season. I don't need you to tell me that. That's ridiculous. You're just taking up space. You're cluttering information there. There's no need. Plus, you wrote it the same size as the team he's on. Okay, so I'd rather see what team he's on than see this that large, because it's not that I don't need it. I think 90% of gamers don't really need to know that information. You can see it through the at-bats the guy played. What if the guy was missed 3 weeks? So, okay, all right. This is the second time I'm going over this. Let's say a guy does care when Jason Hayward played, because he doesn't want to play him on the team when he's not there. I get it. I absolutely get it. Okay? But what if Jason Hayward, from April 27th to May 13th, was on the disabled list and he wasn't available on the roster? And the guy who's so worried about March 28th to September 25th is playing him all through that day. Doesn't that directly conflict with his, desire to make sure that Hayward is only playing, on the team when he was actually playing on the team? Right? I mean, it just doesn't make, it's not logical. It's not logical, because then you would have to, if you want to make this truly valuable, then you would have to make a whole list of the dates that he was out. So it would say, okay, don't use between April 13th and May 21st, because he was on the 3 week, he was out for 3 weeks, or then he was suspended for 9 days from August 1st to August 10th. You would have to give me all that if a guy cares that much about. So somebody brought you this idea, or you may have thought of, hey, I have an idea. So, and since it's my card set, I'm going to write whatever the hell I want on the card set. And then you had a poll, which the poll was, I think it was like 60-40 against adding this. Guy said, oh, we don't need it. But you went ahead and did it anyway. So what message does that send? It says, oh, we don't really care. I don't really care what most of the guys think. It's my set, so I'm going to do what the hell I want. You can like it or not like it. That's one issue that I've had with Joe. I think that's wrong. I think you should remove this from the future cards. I think you should add batters faced. I think you should do a prototype set that guys will buy to play out, to practice with, a mini set, and use. The pitchers should have how they pitch versus righties and how they pitch versus lefties. That would move, you should, and that could be an option as well. Hey, do you want pitchers to have both of these, so you don't lose the guys that really like this system? I love this system. But I do understand, guys, and I think it was Dave, Demo Dave, who was the first one to make that argument. He said, I really like payoff pitch, but I would really like that pitchers who are, have basically how they did versus righties and how they did versus lefties. And I'm looking at the card design here, and I suddenly realized, wow, there's a lot of space to do that. There's tons of space. That would be so easily done. Anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice. A little rant towards the end, and I think it's all done, respectfully. And I will continue setting up another game here using PC Replay Baseball as my sim engine and my stat keeping engine. The Mets are 66 and 64, still in the second place. The Cubs are 80 and 50 in first place in the NL Central under Joe Madden. He's a great manager. Anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice. and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.